Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and this is week one of my creating a healthier, happier lifestyle. Yay, 1 week of working on fixing myself in 6 different areas. Um, I wish that I had like tons of things to report saying how much healthier I am, how much happier I am, how much better I am, and I I don't have a ton of those things to say. I am a little bit happier. I feel like I have slowly been accomplishing more, like every day, just adding a little bit of things. So that is a good thing. But some areas, again, still I just having to remind myself to be gentle with myself and that this is a process and it's going to take time. It is not something that's, this is why it's 100 weeks and not just 1 week. Because, of course, in my mind, I know it's not realistic, but I hopeful that I will, lose a whole bunch of weight when I stand on my scale, or um, that I will just immediately start reading my scriptures and meditationals every day and writing in my journal every day and being this, amazingly different person that I imagine myself to be in my head. Uh, and for week one, that did not happen. However, I did slowly start doing some things, learning some things about myself, and attempting to do more things. So, I'm not entirely sure the best way to do this. I'm just going to look at my little list here. So, spirituality. To be honest, I think it took me until Friday, so it took me till like Monday or Tuesday to start reading my scriptures. I think I read my scriptures and meditationals Monday, and Tuesday I read my Come Follow Me, which was a good thing for me. And then I did that Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I didn't do it yesterday at all. So still, and of course I did the Come Follow Me on Sunday because I taught the lesson Sunday, so I had to at least read it so I could teach it. Uh, and I did, obviously, I went to church Sunday. So those are good things spiritually. And of course, I continue to say my prayers every day and just ask God to help me get through whatever it is that I need to do every day for my daily videos, for work, for whatever my other things are. So still working on that, but it's doing okay. Next one is emotionally. So emotionally, roller coaster for the week. It's usually my emotions are all over the place, but at least I'm aware that I have emotions that are all over the place. And because of my all over the place emotions, I did not go to my self reliance class yesterday, which is about emotions, which would have been a very helpful thing for me to do. So I'm not going to say that I failed on my emotional side of things, but I also did not journal all week either. So my emotional side is probably the hardest side for me to work on. Um, I did have I did connect with my action partner for the week for my self reliance class, um, working on just being gentle with myself, being nice to myself for the week. And so I did remember that. I have been being nice to myself. And I have, well, I don't know that it's a valid excuse. It was a valid excuse. I have an excuse. I have lots of excuses for things. But I think in just being nicer to myself, being gentle with myself, taking care of myself, I'm not sure how to it just happens to be that time of the month for me. And I saw the doctor on Wednesday for my leg and changed medications because I didn't like the side effects to the old ones. So I'm hoping that the new medication does not have quite the same side effects. But yesterday I spent the day in a lot of pain and was not able to sleep. I still have not slept, which is why I'm making a video like really early on a Friday morning. Not because I've been up all night. Well, I've sort of been up all night. I've tried to sleep a couple of times, but this isn't that I'm doing a video right before I go to bed. This is I just give up. I can't sleep, so I'm just going to start doing my day like really early, and at some point, hopefully, I'll get a nap because I'm really tired. but between that time of the month and my leg killing me, I haven't been sleeping, which is why I didn't do things yesterday, because it just it's not hurting as bad today as it did yesterday, but it hurt to walk on it. It hurt to move. It hurt to lay. It just ached all day yesterday. So I just gave myself the day off because I'm like, I'm just not gonna try to drive on it. I'm not gonna try to go to class on it. I'm just not gonna do anything with it. But I did elevate it. I did put ice on it. I did put heat on it. Trying to do what I can to make my leg feel better. But my hips are always a little sore and tender this time of month anyway. So I'm like, oh, buddy, it just all coincides for the day. So yesterday was just kind of a wash, and I just don't care. But I'm grateful that I could give myself like a day. It's a whole week, and it was okay. I'm like, that was my day. I just kind of took a day off of whatever. But I did make sure that I ate. I didn't drink as much water as I should have, but I did make sure that I was eating. So that's good. So I mean, that was emotionally, that's that's what I do. I shut down, or I just block things out. I just don't do things. So still in pain and not sleeping, so today I'm like, well, that didn't work yesterday doing nothing, so I will just see what I can do today. This is me, my little roller coaster for my emotions. So my emotions have kind of been all over the place, and I really do need to journal and look at some of the exercises and things for that emotional self-reliance class to kind of help get myself doing better emotionally. So there's that. But I've also felt this week I've been very proud of myself, been very happy at the things that I have managed to accomplish this week. Grateful to see the days that I've been motivated to slowly start changing and adding things. Like I said, it took until Monday to read my scriptures and meditationals, but I'm like, hey, I've been thinking about it. I've been working on it. And then for my physically is next anyway. So physically, I've been trying to clean up my kitchen. Started with like 5 to 10 minutes. It's been spending more like 15 to 20 minutes. And then after a couple of days this week, I started probably Tuesday. I think I kind of overdid it on Tuesday, and then I did it again on Wednesday, which may be another reason I was super sore yesterday and did nothing. But I kind of started thinking of that song, "You Gotta Swing Your Hips Now." I don't remember the rest of it, but because my chiropractor always tells me that my hips are supposed to rotate, go in a full circle when I walk, and they don't. So I think it's because when I was in marching band in high school, we had to learn how to like walk straight so your upper body doesn't move. And so I think I kind of trained myself not to not to let my hips move. I don't think there's anything wrong with the hips moving as long as the upper body doesn't, but I just couldn't seem to master the both of them. So I don't let my hips rotate, which is kind of dumb because they're supposed to. So I've been making a conscious effort. I don't do it every single time, that when I'm walking from one room to another, to like make sure that my hips are wiggling back and forth, and just, it's kind of entertaining to myself anyway in my head, singing that song, "You Gotta Swing Your Hips Now." So it just kind of makes me laugh. So it kind of boosts my my spirits just a little bit, my emotional side. And then, of course, that's kind of my mental side, having to think of these things and mentally remember all of this stuff as I'm doing it. So they all kind of tie together just a little bit there. And every time I've gone to like the gas station to take a potty break or get a snack or just get gas, whatever it is, I get out of my car and stretch. So I've been trying to remember to do that as I walk around wherever I go. And then I started doing, I don't know if they're called heel kicks. I don't know what they're called, when trying to get your heel to hit your bum when you're like, moving around, doing dishes, and realized that I could do that while I was doing dishes, and doing like little mini lunges because I don't have the energy to do full-on lunges of any kind. And doing that even, just stretching back and forth when I'm like waiting for the gas to pump in my car. So just finding little ways to stretch, to move my body, to try to exercise without overdoing it, because I am like way overweight. And of course, because it's that time of the month, I'm like bloated. And I don't know if it's because I've actually been eating food this week, because I have been trying to make sure that I'm eating. I have limited the amount of food that I have bought as far as snacks and things at the gas station. So for work, which I normally buy a lot of those every day. So I probably, instead of spending like $100 this week doing that, I've probably only spent like $10 or $20 this week doing that. So that's a huge improvement for me. I actually made muffins on Tuesday so that I would have some muffins and could put peanut butter and I put jam in the muffins when I baked them. So then I just put some peanut butter in them and I have like little peanut butter jam muffins that I could take to work with me as my snacks. So I wouldn't buy snacks. So I was really proud of myself for that because I did a little bit of baking, which is good. I think these are positive things for me. So I'm like, yay. And I'm trying to remember all of these positive things so that when I mentioned that my weight has gone up and I am now 274 pounds this morning, not thrilled about that. I also know that weight fluctuates throughout the day. And like I said, I'm bloated. I've been eating food. So, and this is a process and it's going to take time. And I think I mentioned last week when I was starting at week 0 that my weight might go up before it goes down because people say that muscle weighs more than fat. Not that I've gained a whole lot of muscle in a week. But I also know the time of day, and I think I weighed myself in the afternoon last week, and it's early in the morning this week, so that makes a difference too as far as the weight goes. But I'm not giving up. I am really grateful that I am not giving up. I think knowing how much that I'm weighing, just like even more determined I need to lose the weight. I need to get healthier. So I've also been trying to drink more water. So I have these Gatorade bottles, they're like 20 ounces of water. And I've heard, I think you're supposed to drink like at least half your body weight in water if you're trying to lose weight. Actually, I think you're supposed to drink half your body weight in water just to be hydrated. If you're trying to lose weight, you're supposed to drink more than that. So I have these 20-ounce bottles of water, and my goal is to drink 6 of them in a day. I only did that one day this whole week. Like, oh my gosh, I did not realize how much I do not drink water. So I'm like, no wonder I'm always parched. I'm always feeling like I'm dehydrated. Maybe no wonder I'm always getting like migraines because I just don't drink enough fluids. And it's just fluids in general because I usually just drink water. That's all I drink, but I just don't drink enough. I'm pretty good at getting through about 4.5 to 5. 5 is kind of pushing it. 4 I can do pretty much. I've done 4 every day. So I'm like, cool, 80 ounces of water every day. And 6 is 120, which is still not even half my body weight. And I have not, like I said, I did it one day. So what I do is I just fill up 6 bottles of water. And then as I drink them, I fill it up and put it in the fridge for the next day. So it kind of helps me keep track, like how many bottles of water in the fridge is how many I drank, and how many still on my counters, how many I still have left to drink, or how many I took in my bag with me to work is how many I still have left to drink. And I keep coming home with more bottles of water than I should. So still working on that one, on drinking more water. And I probably need to drink more than just 6, but I figured that was because 6 is my favorite number, and that's a good place to start. As far as setting a goal, I'm trying to be realistic, reasonable, things that I can build up to. And I've just like, I'm like, wow. It's just really like, wow, surprised at how little I drink as far as water goes. So I need to definitely work on my water intake. And I saw a video on Facebook scrolling through, and it was one of those random ones, but I really liked it. It was some kid that was some guy, whatever, looked really young, but it was talking about how to build up to doing push-ups and build up to doing pull-ups and build up to some other thing, I don't know. And then he's like, then you're like a ninja, right? I guess it's where you can hold all your body weight, like on your hands or your arms or whatever. Not interested in doing the last 2, really. But the push-ups thing I thought was really cool. But he was like, if you're like really out of shape or whatever, you have to build up to it. So you start like by doing push-ups on the wall, and then you start, leaning like on a rail or something, and then you do like lower like on a chair, and then you do the kneeling push-ups, and then you do the full-on push-ups. But he was like, you build up to like 3 sets of 50, and you can start with like 3 sets of 5 or something, and then go from there. So I really like that idea. So I'm kind of hoping this week I want to try to get myself to do that, where I do some wall push-ups, and do the wall pull-ups where you kind of like lean in a doorway and you just pull yourself up. I'm going to try to do either 3 sets of 3 or 3 sets of 5. I don't know if I want to build all the way up to 3 sets of 50. I don't really want to do 50 push-ups in a row. Not that that's a horrible amount, but we'll see where that goes. But maybe if I do like 3 sets of 5 and every week I just increase it by 5, until I get to 50, I guess. I don't know. It's going to take me like 10 weeks just to build up to that, which is why, 100 weeks is not unrealistic for me to get into shape. This is not me trying to do everything, kill myself overboard, trying to do it all, and then just wearing myself out to be like, okay, I just can't do it because I'm just too exhausted. I want to do little things along the way to slowly just change things, and just have it be stuff that I slowly add into my day, that I can work into my day, that's not taking up a whole lot of time. Take me like 5 minutes to do 15 push-ups on the wall or something. It's not something it's something that's probably going to be a little bit hard for me to start out with. It's probably going to, make me difficult to breathe for a little bit. I also want to do some leg lifts. I have some leg lifts that I used to do, and I think I'm just going to start with like 3 sets of 3 or 3 sets of 5, because I think it'll help with the sciatica in my leg, and it might help just my leg circulation, and I really need more circulation in my legs, I think, to help get rid of the blood clots and to just get flowing a little bit better. So I have all of these ideas that are flowing, which I think God is helping me with. So that's a spiritual thing, getting inspiration. I also feel like a lot of this stuff is like mental things, mentally coming up with ideas, mentally being aware of what's going on, trying to focus on what I'm doing instead of daydreaming and running away to some other place, which I still do a lot of. But forcing myself to focus on what I'm doing, to remember that I'm trying to exercise, to make it fun too, just dancing around my house a little bit from room to room and just doing little shuffles with my legs and stuff, and just, it's simple little things, but it's fun that those little songs or things pop into my head and I can just shuffle around with my legs, do a couple little dance steps, and it's just, it's not that far, it's just down the hall, so it's like a minute, maybe less than a minute of doing that, but just randomly doing that throughout the day, just kind of getting myself moving around more. And I think that's good physically. I think it's good mentally. I think it's good emotionally. I think they all kind of tie together, which is awesome. So I love that. I don't know that I've done a whole lot socially. Kind of missed out on socially going to my class last night. Was going to do something with a friend later today, but she canceled on me, and I probably would have canceled on her if she didn't, so it's okay. And I won't be canceling my plans that I had for Saturday too, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. Anyway, can always make other plans. It's not that big of a deal. So, my brain froze. Oh, socially. I did go to church Sunday, so I was around other people, saw other people, talked to them briefly. I also had my Brazilian friend come over, and we experimented with banana bread on Sunday. It did not turn out at all, but trying to find a different substitute for butter, and I was out of Crisco and didn't realize that I didn't have enough Crisco which is what I usually use for a butter substitute, which apparently is not healthy either. I need to find a better butter substitute, but I can't have dairy, so that's the other thing about like making food and not buying stuff, is that I'm ensuring that I'm not eating anything that has dairy in it. So yay. Pretty much dairy free for the week, so that's awesome. I might have had a little bit that I should not have, but so I think that's good too. But anyway, I know, totally off topic, but she brought over some like almond flour so we could do gluten-free and dairy-free, but then we used like the oil, so I think there was too much oil in it, and something about using the substitute flour. I need to learn the trick for that, because it just doesn't stick together. It doesn't hold together. So it's like we baked it, but I'm like, it's baked, but it all crumbled. It didn't stick together. So it tasted good, but it was a little bit oily. So I think it was because we used oil in place of the butter. It didn't have the right texture to it. And then it just kind of crumbled. But it was fun because we got to hang out and we got to experiment with it. So that was cool. And then she came over briefly on Tuesday for something too. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I've seen other people. And of course, when I go to work, I see people all the time, and some of them I talk to and engage in conversation. So that's a little bit of social for me, but not a lot. I did reach out to a couple of friends via text message and Facebook Messenger. So there's that. In fact, one of my friends, my Romanian friend, I don't know if I should call her my Romanian friend or my Canadian friend, because she's originally from Romania and she was my roommate years ago, and then she moved back to Romania, and then she moved to Canada. So now she lives in Canada. But she's actually home in Romania visiting right now. But she reached out to me to offer me some kind of financial advice, which is awesome. So we're going to do some kind of Zoom meeting this afternoon discussing some financial things. So I'm like, cool. And that just kind of leads me into my last segment of my 6 areas that I'm working on. So financially, this week has not been the best week. And I missed out on a bonus because I did not work yesterday. And I wish that I got that bonus because I really could use it to pay my bills this week. And I did let something bounce because I didn't contact my creditor, person that I owe money to. I didn't contact them and say, the money won't be there this week. Can you make it next week? Because I'll have the money next week. So I had something bounce, which is not, but I mean, it was my choice because I had my doctor's appointment and I knew that I couldn't pay. I was trying to figure out how to pay both bills, like how to just pay my regular bill that always comes out and then still pay the doctor bill because I don't have insurance. And I just didn't have the means to do both. And I'm trying to be independent, so I opted to just do the doctor bill. I know that I can pay the other one late and it'll be okay. I just have the penalty from the bank for it bouncing, and then I just have to go in and say, okay, take the money out next week and it'll be fine. So I still need to go in and say, take the money out next week, so it'll be fine. So that bill will still get paid. It's just going to be late. But I did manage to pay the doctor visit, and it was not as much as I expected it to be. So I was happy about that. Always happy to have a little extra money, but not a lot of extra money. And I have a lot of bills that are due this weekend. And so not working yesterday financially is not beneficial for me, but I didn't think it was worth it because I was just in a really ornery mood, mostly because I just wasn't sleeping and I was in a lot of pain. So still not sleeping, but not as in as much pain. So hopefully the pain will get less and I will be able to work more. And hopefully doing all of these little random exercises will help. But I also think doing all of these little random exercises on an injured leg is probably part of the reason why my leg was just really, because I know after you exercise and you work out and you do things like that, you wake up and you're stiff and you're sore and whatever. And it's good to keep using it and moving it around. But if it's injured, I think it might have been overkill. I mean, it felt good to like be dancing around my kitchen and baking muffins and doing all of those things on Tuesday. And it was really nice to have a couple of days this week where I didn't get up and the first thing I did was play games or turn on my TV. I didn't do that Tuesday or Wednesday. In fact, I just got up and I just made breakfast. I cleaned my kitchen. I did stuff to get ready to go. Wednesday, I didn't clean my kitchen until after work because I had to do my doctor's appointment. So I did kind of everything in a little different order, but I still did everything, which was awesome. And then yesterday, nothing. But like I said, this is my first week. I'm still in the process of making these changes, and it's going to take time for them to become more permanent. But I think I'm just very proud of myself for trying all week, for remembering that I have goals to work towards. And I figure as long as I keep thinking about those things mentally that I need to do, that I will slowly start doing them. But it's going to take time to build up to it. So I think overall, I had a pretty good week. not, like I said, things didn't necessarily go the way that I wanted. I didn't do all the things I would have liked to. I think emotionally and socially, I probably didn't do as much. But like I said, mentally, I had to remind myself mentally, constantly, kind of like a mental exercise, staying in the present and remembering all the things that I had to do. Focused a lot more on my physically and my spiritually things. Um, so maybe this next week I will do a little bit better in the emotional and social area. We'll see what happens. But that's what I have for this week in working on creating a healthier, happier lifestyle. And I'm just doing it baby steps, 1 week at a time, and just being grateful for the little tiny changes that I'm doing and focusing on that. Because I think emotionally that helps me feel better and not, and I don't feel discouraged. I'm really grateful and amazed. I think that's a very spiritual thing at this point, to not feel discouraged after 1 week, especially weighing more and being okay with that. So, not that I'm okay with my weight, I'm not at all, but I kind of expected to maybe gain a few pounds, and I knew that I was going to be that time of the month. So, I'm I'm okay with that. I'm not thrilled about it. I would rather the scale go down, but I think it just makes me more determined to continue to work on myself and to continue to find ways to exercise and to move around and to not be so sedentary. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for the continued determination to keep working on myself instead of the disappointment, discouragement, and giving up, which is what I used to do. So I think emotionally that's better. But like I said, I'm still in the beginning. This is just week one. I survived 1 week of trying to work on myself, and we'll see what happens next week. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. You're welcome to join me on my journey of creating a healthier, happier lifestyle. And feel free to share any ideas that you have with me, things that you're doing, or ideas of things that I could do that would help me along my journey. And I guess that's all that I have. So I hope you have a great week full of gratitude, and find ways to live healthier and happier lifestyles too.